Service animals, train food, Jack Kieferbauer, DoorDash talking out its word hole again, sex trials, Maine madness, and are you illegally delivering booze on the other side?
Well, midnight headlight, blinding on a rain night, Steve laid up ahead, slowing down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those are windshield wipers slapping out the tempo, breaking from the rhythm with the song on the radio.
So what's up, everybody? Whoops, I'm supposed to bring him on at this point. Welcome to the podcast. My guest this week is the co-host of the Gig Economy podcast, Jason Thierry. If you, for some reason, are not familiar with Jason, you will be here shortly. Jason's been doing this for a long time, and he's been on this many times. I've been on his a handful of times, and I'm happy to have him back. What's up, Jason?
What's up? Thanks for having me back. Just talking to Steve, we need to do more. I think last time you were on my show or I was on yours, people were like, "Oh, you guys are good together. You should do more stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, why haven't we? We were like on a six to 8 month hiatus of doing stuff together."
I think that, honestly, I think I get thrown sometimes by your schedules.
Oh, the
just because a lot of your stuff's seasonal and stuff, and so like I always forget, and I get on a roll like, "Oh, this would be a good time," and you're like, "Dude, I'm so busy." It's been like that for a long time anyway. I mean, even if it's not as much so now, but it really was for a long time. I would always be blindsided, but
well, we're here now.
Yeah, you're here now. You guys, again, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's already in the show notes, by the way, down there. So before we start, I did have a question for Jason. Do you know where the first hydroelectric plant in the United States was?
I want to say Michigan because I feel like that's where it was.
It was Grand Rapids.
Was it?
And you guys also, funny fact, I just wanted to learn a couple before you came on, and I'm from Michigan. But Grand Rapids is also the first city in the United States to add fluoride to the drinking water in 1945.
I did know that one. I did.
So I thought that was kind of weird because that's a controversial thing with a lot of people. So
yeah. Some people don't want it in there, but yeah, it's important.
So yeah, we got a few different stories to go through here. If we're gonna just jump right in, but let me see who's in here real quick first. Hey, Blue Elf. Hey, Bubba Sue. Hey, Derek. California Line Dasher. Sean, what's up? Christopher Taylor, what's up? Grandpa, how you doing, man? Guys, check out Grandpa's Random Reviews. That's his other channel. Actually, has 3 channels. He has well, he has his one that he did for like DoorDash and all that. Then he has his review channel where he does like 3-4 minute videos on like reviewing products. He's been doing it for a while. And then he has is it Dirty Shoes Adventures, I think it's called, which is like his fishing channel.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where that was going.
So yeah, he's got a triple, man. I respect the grind, I know Brandon well, and he's a good guy. So I wanted to talk. I sent you the story from CBC on the service dog. It wasn't, by the way, you guys, as you know, I put the links in after the fact. Don't look at this story because I'm not trying to be mean, but man, I know she's blind, but the lady definitely should never wear a red coat. Just saying. If you look at this story, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. But the reason that I brought it up was because I was told something recently, and I haven't had this. I mean, I don't do enough rideshare to these days to know how often it's still abused. I used to get this pulled on me all the time. I'm sure you have back in the day, if not still, Jason, but people using service dogs, especially emotional support ones. I mean, I've picked up people from like the dog lake here in Denver, where their dog's wet and they're like, it's an emotional support animal. I'm like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just shut up. But then, so I was always told we can't ask what the reason for the service animal is. I was told that I was always confused. Why is there no certification? Maybe you don't have to carry that. I always remember growing up with the orange vests. They used to wear orange vests.
Mhm.
They don't have to do that anymore. But then I found out that the law actually doesn't support them. So there has to be a way to get to this, because this is in all of the doctor's offices that I cater to now. Been seeing it everywhere. And if you guys look, no pets, it's talking about service animals. No pets are allowed. Service dogs are trained to do work or perform a task for persons with disabilities. Comfort and or emotional support animals are not service animals and not recognized by the ADA. So if somebody gets in the car and says emotional support, I can say you're not, I mean, I can cancel it. You're not covered. I'm sure it'll cause a problem, but I'm just saying, technically, I don't know. I've had that pulled on me a lot, is why I've like taken little dogs. And again, the reason that I do care is because I always have dogs. So my car always smells like my dog. A service animal is actually a trained animal. Won't go to the bathroom in your car, won't do anything, doesn't move, sits on the seat. Somebody's emotional support animal will pee on your rug.
Yeah. The problem I have with all this is there's no identifying license for a service dog, and they push against it. Well, we shouldn't have it. I'm like, guess what? If you have that, if you have like a driver's license, there's not going to be a problem. You're going to show that to the Uber driver, and they're going to be like, well, fuck, if I deny this, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? So why don't they do that? That's the thing that frustrates me the most.
Well, that's what's frustrating me too. Like, why isn't it just a card?
Yeah. It would solve so many problems.
Because this is the truth of it. I don't mind taking your dog if it's a service animal, because I know how well they're trained.
Right.
I do mind taking your emotional support animal, and I'm not against you having one, but I mind taking it because they're not trained.
Yeah. They're going to be all over the car. They're just going to be disrespectful. And because they're animals, they're not trained. That's what animals do.
Yeah, Brandon says, if you need emotional support, get a human friend.
He's like, fuck you. Get a person. What if you don't have a person though?
But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to at least hit on that, because it's been as of recent. I always thought that even the emotional supports fell under it. And I actually once asked a person, I was very nice about it. I ended up taking him, but it was a situation. He was like basically calling me out for calling him out, which I didn't do. He was like, no, you're not allowed to ask. And blah, blah. And it was the only time I was like, dude, I'm near canceling, but I know you'll report me. But regardless, I was going to take you anyway. Shut up. Just shut up for a minute.
Yeah, I think I understand the frustration, and I actually feel bad for anybody that actually has a legitimate service dog. But I mean, they're complaining, well, Uber needs to do more. I mean, what more can they do? Like, what are they going to do? Have someone ride with us every day? I mean, that's, someone was saying they should have in-dash cameras provided by Uber and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I think you just solve, again, the certificate, you solve a problem. This is a valid government thing, just like our driver's license. I have to present it to the person and be like, hey, this is my service dog. And I'd be like, absolutely, get in, let's roll.
Or get creative and just say, that's cool, man. Just watch out for my pet boa constrictor back there.
Yeah.
But you sent me, moving forward, you sent me this. I found this. I mean, I've been hearing I know about these women programs, but one thing above all else, and it's maybe what you were the reason you were sending it to me, but you sent me this. I've dealt with this. I know about this. So women wanting women drivers, women riders wanting women drivers. And what I find mind blowing here is that Uber allows this service. I mean, that's debatable anyway, but let's pass that. But they're saying that they don't have a woman available to come pick you up at the moment. Would you rather have a man? And if you do, it's 5 cents more.
I don't think it actually is 5 cents more. I just think, how the app, the GPS floats around a little bit. I mean, it's tongue in cheek. I mean, I think it's just it recalculated it, but it's funny to say that we cost more.
I don't know. If I was Uber, I'd be very careful of this because I just wouldn't. There should be no new price.
Yeah,
it shouldn't
that's
even have
dangerous.
that in there. Just say, hey, do you want to switch drivers? And that should just be done.
Yeah, it is dangerous. Well, I posted a TikTok about this, and a lot of the comments were, "Well, we're better drivers. We're worth more money."
Yeah,
like,
ladies, we already get called out for being bad shoppers, which is BS.
Oh my God!
So
All the
don't
time.
you guys already get that win? It's not even fair.
Right. Right.
All
Give
somebody
this
has to do is put my Instacart shopper's a man, and they'll like remove me and put a woman on it right away, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't understand how the men give us such a bad rap. I mean, if you do it 10 times, you should be okay, maybe not 10. 20 times, you should know how to fucking do it. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick a banana out, you pick a, you just, I don't know, if you do not eat this stuff, so you pick out shitty stuff. I don't know. I don't know why we get such a bad rap, but clearly we're not good shoppers. I mean, you and I are. We're goddamn professionals,
but I'm saying there's women. I mean, there's without doubt there's women that are bad shoppers too. I've had panels up here where the women on the panels are like, "You guys are bad shoppers,"
yeah,
and like they're on the panel with us, and I'm like, "Dude,
right.
how do you know how I shop?"
Yeah, you don't know.
Especially me. I'm a single dad. I've been the only head of household. I'm the only person in the household who does shop for. Well, now he's at college, but for my son and I for years.
Right. Exactly.
Probably shop better than a lot of people.
Bubba Sue says it's absolutely true. Women are paid less in rideshare, but like, where do you see that? I'd be curious because I
well,
feel
there have been other. I mean, I've seen Sergio and Chris talk about it. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those elusive things that you keep going down rabbit holes, but there are a lot of claims that don't just seem like conspiracy theory going nowhere things. There are a lot of claims about like when they've done those tests about putting 15 phones on a desk at the same time. They've had some of those be women and they come in cheap. But I'm always thinking those tests are so weird, man. You just don't know which like an iPhone 17 is going to get it before an iPhone 14, an iPhone or 15. An iPhone 15 will get it before an Android. It's tough. There's just too many things.
Yeah, cell service.
However, I think it's weird when like I've seen this. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got over 5 million views. It's a rideshare guy video, and it's Sergio at one of their events putting his and 19 other phones down, and they all requested a car at the same moment to the same place, and they were all off by like dollars and everything, all on the same table.
That's that proves that there are some algorithm stuff going on trying to to change stuff especially if they're that much off.
Yeah, and yes, you say an algorithmic discrimination. I mean, yeah, my thing is, why would you want to discriminate against you'd want more women on the platform?
I'm impressed you typed that without any spelling errors because that's pretty good. I mean, it's just, I look at that word, it seems hard to say, and I'm like, I don't even think I could type that without fucking it up.
Wait, I didn't even say this. If you can't pick a avocado or a tomato, you probably shouldn't be shopping. I don't think it matters. Okay. I'm right there with you, Brandon. I know how to pick my stuff too, man.
The guy above says, "What did you pick? Banana? What, you don't pick bananas?"
Right. No, but I mean, like, it's exactly. It's not like I'm like, they're out of tomatoes. Will this banana do?
Right.
Like, I'm not a moron, people.
Yeah. But we played a video a couple of weeks ago where someone did what was it? It was, I can't remember what it was, but they subbed it for mozzarella sticks or something. And it was like it was like a vegetable they wanted and they subbed mozzarella. First of all, how does the app even allow that? Fucking Walmart doesn't let me do shit like that. Like they lock that stuff down. I don't understand it.
Probably a woman shopper.
I'm not saying that shit. Steve said that. AKA Steve said that.
I said it because all the women to me say that you guys should. They're all. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I feel like a lot of times they literally are like, Why don't you guys just get off the shopping apps?
Right. This guy says I can't tell the difference between cabbage and a lettuce. I don't know if I could either. Like, I feel like cabbage isn't in the same form as lettuce.
Cabbage is a little, I mean, at least here in Colorado, it's a little more white too.
That's racist. Cabbage images. Okay. Yeah, I definitely could tell. Yeah. Like a head of lettuce and cabbage. Yeah, I could tell. I guess I would have to see it in person.
It's definitely a question you don't want to ask at the store. Which
no.
one's the cabbage?
Christopher says, I always ask my customer their preference. I never ask, but if they ask for 5, I'm giving them 2 ready to go and 3 green. Just because I know they're probably ready to eat some and the other ones are going to go last a little bit longer. I just do that automatically. Bubba Sue. Proven point. Men suck a job. What? Because I didn't know what cabbage and lettuce was? That is true. That is a good point.
So when I introduced this is a short clip, but when I introduced this, I said train food. I wasn't talking about food we eat on a train. It was like talking about what a train eats.
Right now at 3:30, a food delivery robot gets stuck on the Bright Line train tracks and is smashed.
It was all caught on camera, so our Local 10's Brett Neese speaking to residents in the area about it. He is live in Fort Lauderdale with more on what this could all be about. Brett.
Well, Caroline and Ginny, so many of these food robots are able to get through busy intersections like this one in Fort Lauderdale. They're able to do it safely. But this particular robot stuck on the tracks, it met its match, and it begs the question, has the technology behind some of these robots outpaced public safety?
Oh, it's gonna crush it. Oh, it's gonna crush it.
A helpless food delivery robot stuck on the tracks as a train barrels towards it. Unable to do anything for the little guy, bystanders can only watch as the train crushes it and whatever food was inside.
No!
The impact enough to cause the Bright Line to come to a temporary stop.
No!
Scary, and I mean, glad it's just a robot, but that it needs to be better managed.
I think that
You're still muted, Steve.
We've all probably seen the story, but if you hadn't seen the video yet, it's pretty, like, the sound is pretty hilarious.
It's a crunch.
I mean, to me too, I'm looking at it going, did somebody see a broke down one and put it on the train track?
I don't even know how it gets on there. Like, it said it had an error. I remember I was reading the article and I'm like, it had an error. It would have to go like, it would have to go up the, like, where cars go and then turn right.
Right. Well, they're not, I mean, they're talking about Fort Lauderdale and Miami. There's always little ways to get under trains, like walkways and stuff.
Okay.
Like, that's not where a human would go. And those are supposed to be on the sidewalk. So,
yeah. Yeah, it is. I saw a TikTok today of kind of a montage of all these robots getting destroyed. And it's going to happen. I guess it's better than a car, like a Waymo.
Well, to who? I'd rather see the Waymo go.
Well, I would too, but
because if I was the train guy, I'd gun it at the Waymo. I would throttle that thing so hard.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good advice.
I'd see how many pieces I could put it in.
But there's probably someone in there. You don't know. Did you see the one where it got stuck on it wasn't like it was, what do you call those trains that are kind of have the electricity on the top? Not like, it's not a trolley, but
no, the electric trains like in San Francisco where they got the grids of wires above. And
yeah, a Waymo turned on that and just was sitting there waiting, like, and the passenger ended up getting out before it got hit. I think they're not like regular trains. They can stop before they have to hit something, but a tram. Yes. Thank you. A tram.
Well, I mean, it was a stop and the person got out. Like, then it kept going and it got closer to the train.
I thought it was literally on the track.
I mean, these things are just like Chris Taylor. He's been having to deal with this probably the worst. He's in Arizona. He's not in Phoenix, but he's just south of it. and Mesa. So I mean, like that's one of the test grounds forever for Waymo. He sees them all the time. He sends me all kinds of stuff. Oh, they were stuck in the water today. Oh, it flooded. So all the underpasses had them to, oh, they're on the highway going in the wrong lane. I mean, like as much as we read the articles, I hear it from him firsthand.
Well, yeah, we only can. Yeah, I'm sure they're not telling us everything. I don't know those things. I mean, they kind of terrify me. I mean, they got to be perfect. Why is like we would forgive a human, but we don't forgive a company because they got to be perfect.
Yeah,
and they can't
I just
stop
love the noise, and I love that noise. Is the guys that noise is the sound of $30,000 to $60,000 of trash being destroyed in one pop. Those little coolers are 30 to 60 grand, depending on which one.
Jesus.
I mean, the what is it? The Cocoa? Oh no, not the Cocoa.
That was the Cocoa one.
No, the dots, the dot ones.
Those are the DoorDash ones.
The ones that look like the kids' little red Flintstone cars.
Yes.
Those are 110 grand.
For what? Just for all the tech on it?
And get this, it fits like a 3-year-old child.
Have you tried to put one in there?
Yeah. No, but I mean, I've seen it open and I've seen the size of what's in there. And I'm thinking, man, that almost like if a kid has one of those red Flintstone cars, he might go, this is cool. I'm going to get in there.
Right. This can't be a long-term solution for these delivery companies. They can't expect that this is going to be the new thing. Like, I get the driverless cars. I think that's going to be big. But this delivery thing, it can't be the new thing, right? Because people want it delivered to their door. If you're in a delivery robot, you got to walk down to the sidewalk. People are freaking lazy. They're not going to want to do that.
No.
I'm lazy. I don't want to do that.
And then last week, and I'm sure you guys saw this story too. By the way, before the background tonight, you guys, is Grand Rapids. Check this out, Jason. So I asked AI before we started to make a background of Grand Rapids in 100 years.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
I hope not. That looks like shit.
You won't be here, bro.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know, man. You don't know. Things could change.
But I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Maybe I skimmed the article too fast, or maybe they hadn't put out the details yet. But this Jack Bauer thing, this Kiefer Sutherland, I don't remember reading that he punched the driver a bunch of times, that he chokeholded him.
Yeah, it says that in the article.
No, I mean, but last week they put out the article, and I feel like this part wasn't out there yet. And like it says he had a dash cam, all that, so it's all there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
that guy's got a
suck, dude. Having your ass kicked by Jack Bauer in your in your Uber.
So bad. He's a fucking drunk, though. There's so many stories about that. Let's see.
Do you think he's deactivated?
You're right, though. The original article doesn't say that. Because I shared one for my show Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it doesn't say anything, just the attack, and that he was released on felony charges and a $50,000 bond. He's a great actor, though. Have you ever seen 24?
Oh yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I remember I saw the first season and I was mind blown, because if you saw the first season, there had never been anything like it.
Correct. I mean, and just like any series, it gets long in the tooth at the end, but
yeah,
he's a good actor. He has some connection to Grand Rapids. He has actually a band, and he's in a band himself, and they've played here. And there's another band called Wayland here. Somehow they know Kiefer and like have been to his house. I've heard stories about it, but yeah, all I know is that he likes to drink a lot. He has a drinking problem. Clearly. Well, and he hasn't kicked it.
So this is Derek. Derek's in my state, and he's saying that are you following? Yeah. So also the fact that they did the whole update on Waymo. We talked about this last Thursday, Sean and I, and they did the whole update, and it didn't work on any of them. They still don't know what a bus is. The whole update was done, and every one of the Waymos still can't identify a school bus. And that's all the update was for. But then what he's talking about is the Uber one, and that people are now tracking it, and that there's only one.
That's wild. People
See, these are the kind of lies that they pull. They go and they have a video shoot done around this thing.
Of course.
Like, look at the fleet coming out. You mean that car? That car is not a fleet.
No. So remind me again, what is Uber using for their cars for that? Their one car, apparently.
Well, they just did at the CO 2026, they just released the new style. And when I was talking about it last week, all I was reading that they did it all because they're working with Lucid and they're working with another company, Neuro, who does the delivery robots, Lucid. But they've stepped in to help with the autonomous. But here's my issue. In the Uber one, they're trying to use cameras instead of LiDAR. First of all, everybody, I know that LiDAR is expensive. We talk about this all the time. They break all the time. LiDAR is not the efficient way. However, LiDAR does the best job. It's going to scan through everything and get the best read over except, Tesla's using cameras. So what Uber's trying to do with these other hacks is do cameras. I can tell you this for sure. Elon Musk will have camera down before Uber does.
Well, I think he kind of already does.
Well, that's my point. If you're doing that, just because I still think LiDAR's your most protective because that can see through a truck. And
can you answer a question? Because I'm ignorant to that. What is LiDAR? Is that like radar, but like in a different?
Yeah, kind of. But it's also like how sonar can go through like a reef and see a shark on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so it can. If there's like 4 lanes, it can, and there's 2 18 wheelers in the 2 lanes next to you, it can go through those and see the car on the other side.
Oh, very cool.
So if somebody was running across the road and there was a semi next to you, with the Elon Musk situation, you won't see it with the camera.
Really? So he's not doing any of that stuff then.
His is more of a extreme definitive stop, freak out, stop, but it's still, I don't know. It still seems to be testing is good because the Waymos don't test good, but they use the LiDAR. But like I said, I went to Austin a lot of times over the past few years to be with Para and GigSafe and work over there. And I saw the Waymos all over the place. And I got to tell you, I'm not kidding when I say they and I know people do things to them too. They really do.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of I play golf, so I know there was a bunch of it looked like a driving range had gone to town on this thing.
Right.
There's just some where you're like, dude, what is this? They really do try and destroy them. But I've seen the thing crooked, the LiDAR, and it spins. And so sometimes you see it spinning almost the wrong way, towards the sky instead of sideways. It's like, dude, what is this thing doing?
What do you think about the vandalism on those cars? They're going to have to prosecute and make it, an example out of somebody, right? Otherwise, people are just going to fucking break them.
Yeah, but I think people are going to keep breaking them regardless until they have to follow the laws that we do.
In regards to what?
Well, you can't write them a ticket.
You can't write them a ticket.
No, they don't have one ticket in California. They don't have one ticket in Arizona.
Well, that's my point. One of the things that we talked about is who's responsible when they run over a kid or somebody. Who's going to go to jail for that?
Nobody.
Yes, that can't happen.
Right. They can't write a ticket. And that's the other thing. So you just brought up one of the biggest issues, like a kid. Perfect example. They run over a kid. Now what? The mayors are letting the Waymos in, and for big briefcases of money. And here's the biggest problem though, is that nobody can insure these things. Nobody. There's no insurance company behind Waymo. Waymo self-insures their vehicles.
Okay.
Because no insurance company knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not going to insure that piece of crap.
Right.
I don't know. And especially, it's not even once the car is perfected in many, many years. I've talked to other engineers in the field who have said, this is an all or nothing game. Literally, either everybody's going to be autonomous or nobody will, meaning like almost like bus routes. There will be bus routes of autonomous, but you're not going to have true autonomous everywhere unless it's all or nothing.
Yeah, people have to embrace it.
And I guess, I get that. It can't be like 50-50 because there's a lot of hatred out there. It's not just me. There's a lot of other people that are
90% of it's coming from you. You're like, there's other people that hate him. It's not just Steve.
right. But I've brought other people on board. Like, come on, let's hate Waymos. So like, we're open for recruitment.
I mean, I'm like middle of the road. Like, I like the technology, but I also think that it has to be perfect.
Yeah, of course it does.
We're not going to forgive it. It is low. Oh, I missed that comment. I'm sorry. LiDAR is low energy infrared. Okay.
I'm going to work with those letters, Sean, because I'm sure there's a better thing to come up with. LEI. I'm going to find something really mean to say about Waymo. Because the LiDAR, I mean, those things are $70,000 each. Most of us we pay half that for our cars.
Well, it's probably because that's why Elon isn't using that, because of you can't give that to a person and sell the car for 45, 50 grand and have that same feature,
I was thinking it's because Eli already put out the Cybertruck. I'm like, dude, you can't put out two mass ugly things.
That Cybertruck, Jesus Christ, that thing is so bad. I have a physical reaction when I'm driving down the road and I see one of those. I'm like, oh God.
I just have a reaction of like looking at it and going, you paid $100+ for that.
Yeah. There's a couple around town here. And I, in fact, one of the streets that I drive on, it's not one of my bus kids, but it's in the neighborhood. And I see it in the garage. I'm like, how the fuck did you afford? Unless he's like leasing it or something. But like, and why do you want to drive around in that? It's just God, it's definitely not a pussy magnet for sure. Maybe it's a cock magnet.
Did you see this comment? Also in Phoenix, they're adding a blue light to the stoplight so people know there's a Waymo in the area.
What? The government's doing that?
What is that? Like, so you go through an intersection going, oh God, I hope I get through this.
Is that like legit? Oh,
I'm telling you, he's been living through this for years. This is his neck of the woods, man.
He says, yes, we have red, green, yellow, and now, well, what is the blue? Okay, so what does the blue mean? That there's a
Waymo and like oncoming behind you this way. Like you're in the zone of a Waymo.
Interesting.
Weird. My guess is because, and Chris knows, I've talked about this. I've done this. Talked about it many times. 212 incidents in a 2-year period, and 73 the fault of Waymo, and 0 tickets written.
Yeah, there's got to be some accountability. Like the tickets thing doesn't really bother me because you just pay a fine, right?
Yeah, but dude, they like if they go into oncoming traffic and swerve back, and then 2 other cars get into an accident because of it.
I know.
They're not even brought to the table for that, and the car isn't even damaged. They're still on their way.
So you think they should get points like drivers, and then after a certain amount of points, that car or that the company has to like go offline for 2 days or something?
No, I honestly,
what is your solution? My
solution is get them out of the cities, because right now we have 3 in our city. Again, that's not real. There's a safety driver behind everyone. They're mapping the city. Well, guess what? Get them out of our city, because they're just billboards. That's all they are. They're just billboards to be the first. Like, people will remember the name Waymo Autonomous. But I mean, if they don't get this bus thing solved soon, we're going to have a killed kid.
That's wild that it's still happening. That's so dangerous. So and to me, it doesn't seem like that hard to code. I mean, if you can code a red light, you can't code a fucking yellow 2 blinking red lights. I don't know. Seems kind of stupid.
So this moving into this sexual assault thing, we talked about this last week, and I just wanted, because I found this in the court news, is that, and this crap always happens, but here's another Uber exec, like, and he's kind of stepping forward in his deposition, but we all know that these multi-thousands of rape cases are can now be heard one at a time. There's like 5 already started. There's just tons coming. It's one of the big problems for investors is how much is the legal fees in 2026 going to be. And Uber sexual assault trials have begun. And an exec, here's what they called this, was an exec trashed rape victims in response to investigation. So in a deposition for a federal sexual assault lawsuit against Uber, Global Safety Communications Director Andrew Hasbun explained internal messages in which he admitted peddling lies.
Why?
I know that he's in the deposition. Okay, so but whatever. But to defend the rideshare giant from rape accusations. I mean, like, if this is where if this should be a big sign, to me, this is a big sign of how a lot of these cases are going to go.
Yeah.
Internal messages revealed in federal court indicate Uber executives have known for a decade about the company's rampant sexual assault problem and encouraged employees to silence victims. First of all, silence, you got to be careful with with the words, because like that, that's like saying, I need this person gone, and somebody's like gone.
Yeah, snuff them out. Is that what you're saying?
But so this is a quote: "In many cases, we can and should squash stories." Global Safety Communications Director Andrew Hasbun from Uber said in 2018. Kill stories when possible and mitigate the impact on our reputation. I mean, if they have them in this in this federal deposition, and he's already singing like this on day 2, this is going to be an interesting year.
Well, now listen, this is fucking terrible, and those guys are pieces of shit. But what are they supposed to do? Like, I always fall back on, like, what is Uber supposed to do if there's a sexual assault?
Well, for one, and this is what in almost every one of the cases I've seen, is that people, like, let's say 25%. I know that's actually a low number. 25% of the people being accused of rape had, like, what was it, 2 to 4 prior complaints of like sexual misconduct.
Okay, so then they should have got him off. Then it's 100% on them.
Right. We don't have that exact number. If I remember right, it was like 32% that they thought they had it at. That's horrible. 1 in every 3 of the sexual assaults, they have multiple complaints on the driver.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think. I feel like, one, we keep them on because, but if you get another one within a certain amount of time, like he's got, because like people do lie, you know what I mean? That's the thing. We have no say if we get accused of drinking, if we get accused of assault, all that stuff. Like, are they supposed to just immediately on the customer's word? And I'm not defending the rapist or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you have a history of this stuff, okay, time to get him off. And in that case, if he had multiple occasions and then it happened, then Uber is liable. They should.
I think they're. Oh, you're just talking about the Uber part. I thought you were talking about the driver too. Like, should the driver be?
Yeah, no. I am talking about the driver.
Okay. Because on that, I would say there needs to be a bigger standard to. Okay, if this person says, I mean, like, if somebody had said that you sexually assaulted them while you're at your job, they're going to come in and arrest you.
Well, they will do an investigation first. They're not going to just kick the door in and arrest me.
No, well, I mean, sometimes I don't know. I'm just saying that sexual assault is not something you should be calling into Uber for a free ride.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be handled immediately by the police. Make the person take a lie detector test, like go the full 9 yards with them and make that. I mean, not to make it worse on the victim. You're supposed to do this anyway, but make the victim jump every hoop immediately.
Yeah. I mean, I agree if it's accused.
Because I think a lot of people would just back out. If they're lying, they're just going to back out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, although a lot of rape victims, it takes them a long time to come forward because it's traumatic. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, I said, what is Uber supposed to do? But when you say, yeah, he had 2 occurrences of complaints of misconduct, then yeah, then he should have been off the platform. I just don't want Uber to go around and say, well, if you get 1 complaint, you're gone. You know what I mean?
But what if somebody complains about like, hey, this guy was sexually inappropriate, and maybe let's say they were even being nice, the driver was touching them sexually inappropriate, and then a week later that driver rapes them. Why did they even get the 1?
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying deactivate them. I'm just saying there needs to be some kind of holding pattern that is quickly resolved.
You mean like, hey, you're not driving, you're paused driving right now. We're gonna call the police, and no, because they don't want to get involved. They're gonna leave that on the victim to do that.
Okay, I guess what I would say is any sexual assault. The first thing in a sexual assault case, one of the first things they're going to do is fingerprint. So what I would say is, sorry, Uber, I know you like the $23 checker background check, but if you get a sexual assault, you have to do a full, real $150, $200 background check with a fingerprint of that driver immediately.
I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that. And
because with a fingerprint, you can find a lot more.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, I mean, that background check could be like, dude, this guy should not be driving.
Right. No. That brings up a good point. Why don't they just force drivers to do that and just be like, hey, this is, if you want to, because they know people won't do it and then they won't have enough drivers. I guess that's why they won't. But that would solve a lot of the problems of reports of sexual assault and all that stuff.
I just don't think you'd have the drivers volunteering to go down to the police station to get their fingerprint done.
I disagree, because I feel like some people are so desperate to drive that they'll do whatever they need to do to drive. And then would that be cool?
Maybe.
You could put that badge on your account and say like, hey, I've been fingerprinted, yada, yada, yada. That's why, to my original question, what is Uber to do to stop these from happening? Like, I read this lawsuit and the attorney's like, oh my gosh, you have to do all this. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's going to stop an offender from offending.
Yeah. No, and you're right. It's, I don't have all the answers, but whatever, let's say there was $150 fingerprint background check. I've said this before. If that were an option for me, I would pay that money per year if that was my onboarding, like, golden key to every app.
Oh, like
I would pay that out of my pocket as a self-employed independent contractor. Every year I'd go get fingerprinted, have a real background check done.
And then you're able to present that to any app. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, then I'm like, I'm golden. Like, I'm not a checker or background check, which they fail all the time. So
yeah, no, I agree. I just don't know if they'll ever do that. But again, how many more lawsuits are you going to even though this was back in 2018, I think it was, this Slack messaging, blah, blah, blah. It's happening. It happened yesterday. Like, they're having these conversations yesterday about the same thing, try to mitigate the loss and keep things secret, which is really bad.
Well, because they couldn't sue until this year.
Oh, okay.
The women were having to do class action crap and this and that and the other and share attorneys, and now they can each take a case against Uber due to a Supreme Court ruling.
Okay.
That changes the whole thing, because even this is what the investors are scared about, because it's like, out of the first 10, if 3 even win, they have 9,000 coming. So if you're to do those odds, you got a lot. That's not little money.
Yeah.
And it's not good press around the globe.
I don't know. I think his name's Corey, maybe. Colorado ride guy. Sean. If they fingerprint, they won't have drivers. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, but
then Sean, then they would take away the oversaturation. Maybe more people want to drive.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. A traveler would pay. Cost of doing business. Yeah, as long as it's not like every app I got to spend $150 to get a fingerprint. Like, it should be a one and done.
Yeah, and Gator even says, like, it's same thing I'm saying. Like, the golden package, $100, $150, it covers any app out there. Like, the app goes, oh, you have the gold coin kind of thing. Like, oh, sweet. They don't have to pay the background check from Checker that's bogus anyway.
Right.
And they know you were checked proper.
Well, remember, you'd have to do it every year too, which is still fine. I mean, it's cost of doing business. But you know, because shit gets,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I don't think they'll ever do it though.
I mean, this is what London does. And they don't have any of the problems we have. They make all their drivers follow the TNC rules. They have to have the RF code and the badge on them at all time.
Oh, really? I
And they
didn't
have
know
a
that.
little RF reader in there. That way, if you're the passenger and you've been drinking, it's not even trying to figure it out. It's literally like, this is Joel. He's your driver. You're at the right car.
Okay. Do they have to do fingerprints there too?
Yeah, they have to, and it's all an expense on them. I mean, yeah, they have a 2-week crash course at where the black limousine people have to go. By the way, guys, black limousine people in London have to go to school for 5 years to become a black cab driver.
What?
Yeah, because you have to know every single place in the city of London. You have to be able to tell everybody about every single place, every restaurant, everything.
How much are they getting paid for going to school for 5 years?
I don't know. I think back in the day they made a lot of money. I don't know what it is now. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard it that way. Like the black cabs of London, they were a thing. Like you would go there and you would pay 3 times. There would be a taxi too. There's taxis as well, but you'd pay 3 times as much, and you'd sit in this old timey car, this little black car, and this guy would know the history of London, everything.
Very cool.
So, but yeah, I mean, then, you know, just the quotes in here too, you know, I used to look after my soul, but I don't know where it's gone anymore, is what this guy says later. This is like 3 years later. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think this is still going on. Like I don't think it's just a male thing anymore. I guarantee, you know, it's just those businesses, all the gig apps, unfortunately, are kind of shady, you know, and if they're going to get sued, they're going to try to, like I said, keep everybody down, silence them, take it for what you want to know what that word means.
So in 2019, before the pandemic, Uber revealed, and a lot of times when we see this Uber revealed, the number is going to be a little low. But let's assume it's right. Uber revealed 5,981 reports of sexual assault, 464 reports of rape in 2017 and 18. And then the numbers grew from there, and now more than 3,000 federal cases are pending, plus tons of multi-districts. I mean, this isn't funny. This is like the worst PR you could get, and they've been pushing it for years. We're not going to let these women fight us without being a class action type thing. Well, sorry, that's not how it's breaking down, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but how many of the people are actually going to see this? You say it's bad PR, but like who, you know, I feel like the average it was in the New York Times this week. I mean, but how many Uber drivers, how many Uber passengers are actually going to see that and go, ooh, I shouldn't take this.
I think the fact that it's not like a story running on 2 papers and then 3 the next week, and the fact that it's like plastered everywhere all the time now.
Yeah.
Even if you're not reading the stories, you're seeing it. Rape, murder.
Yeah.
Delivery DoorDash person chopped into 72 pieces. That story was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just like stories that if you were like first day on this and, you know, you had been out of it for a bit and you really didn't understand the space and I was explaining this, you'd go, bullshit.
Right.
No way that all that happened.
Yeah, you'd have to look it up.
But yeah, I want to move on here because what did I want to point out about this? By the way, Maine is trying to push for a Washington. We're going to move through this a little quick, but oh wait, I had a video too. I wanted to play this. This was from Jason as well because it went with, I talked about this at length, but here's somebody talking about what we talked about while we're on legislation in California. This has to do with, well,
anybody using Uber Eats or DoorDash to get your food. Well, as of January 1st, 2026, an amazing new thing is happening. If you get your order wrong or if the food is not delivered, they are required to give you a full refund. I smell potential for abuse, of course, but this is amazing. But what's really amazing is that if you cannot get a response from the automated robot that keeps on giving you customer service, actually, based on the new law, get to talk to a human person. Wow, that would be pretty amazing.
California, good luck with your laws this year. I mean, you have ones that contradict one another. You got unionizing. You got solidification in the Supreme Court of Prop 22. I don't even know how all these play out. You're going to have a lawyer breaking down the 20 Uber laws to seeing what applies to your situation in any given moment.
You're going to need one on retainer.
I mean, honestly, I made a video about this. Like, it's like an 11-minute video on my channel. And the first comment that was left on there was somebody from California that's been watching for a long time. And he said, yep, you've been right about a lot of this stuff, or something to this effect. And he's like, I, as of this year, I'm done.
Really?
He's like, I just won't do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the gal said, she can smell abuse. Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be some sort of parameters, like one a week or one a month you can refund. Because, like, why wouldn't, which I really hate people that do that. They don't realize I don't mind them fucking DoorDash. It's the small mom and pop that made that pizza and spent the labor, and now they're probably going to have to take a hit on that because, this person decided to lie. And it's straight up stealing. And I freaking hate that. It pisses me off.
So we have time for one more story. I had a couple more, but we'll push two to Thursday. But I want to talk about this one since I have Jason on, because I was talking about it on a live stream while working, like a whatever that was on Sunday, because that was a good live. I'm glad anybody that joined that was really interesting. But alcohol delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do alcohol delivery?
Yep.
You do. Are you where is it? Are you MLCC compliant?
Are you saying, do I have a safe serve certificate?
Not from the apps, because those are just their stupid little training modules. Are you Michigan MLCC certified?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But not from the apps. From the Whitecaps.
From the Whitecaps.
Yeah, the baseball team.
Oh, okay. But you really are.
Yeah, I did it. I have, yeah, not
because
from the app.
Here's what I want. Again, I wanted to bring this up. I'm originally from Michigan, so in Michigan, alcohol requires completing a mandatory state-approved training course. Again, you can get on DoorDash, you can get on any of these apps, and you can deliver alcohol because you are an independent contractor. They assume that you know the law. They assume that you have the correct documentation. They're just saying, we have offers to provide you for liquor. You can take them if you're certified. But they default turn you on. They even default, I turned mine off. They default turn mine back on, and then it has a thing next to it, certified. Now, I've owned a bar for 25, or I own bars for 25 years, but I haven't been tip certified in 5 years.
So in Michigan, at least for the apps that I use, Walmart is the only one that made you have a certificate. Like, you could not do the
You hadn't
alcohol.
uploaded.
So I uploaded mine from the Whitecaps. Other than that, you had to go through the same course that I did for the Whitecaps. But the other apps, no, they didn't care. You just had to click, I'm doing it. So they're breaking the law. We're all breaking the law.
Right. Like in Virginia, all of the apps, including DoorDash, makes you upload what you are talking about or what I'm talking about here, tips.
Yeah.
You can't even do it on. So here's my thing. DoorDash even knows it's illegal, because in one state they've been majorly called out going, if you guys even pull this, it's just one of those things where wait till the states find out, because I'm looking at it. And a lot of times people are asking me this. So this is what it is. So like in Michigan, the training course, they're usually about 90 to 120 minutes. It's not a lot to it. On premise or off premise, you have to learn to responsibly serve, ID checking state laws. So the requirements, mandatory training by Michigan Liquor Control Commission, and separate certifications for on-premise bars, restaurants, and off-premise liquor, grocery stores, and delivery. It covers state laws, spotting fake IDs, recognizing intoxication, refusing service, and safety. and you have to get at least 70% right to pass.
Yeah. Although let's face it, it's not us delivering alcohol is not the same as serving at the Whitecaps. Like, it's a one-on-one interaction. More likely than not, it's just someone at home. I mean, obviously, if you get the app doesn't even let you continue if you get an expired ID or those kind of things. But I'm not saying they shouldn't do the training. They should do it, but I don't feel like it's as impactful as in serving at a bar.
So I'm going to put word different. My opinion is that none of these apps should be doing it at all. And if somebody does want to do it, they need to hybrid the gig model a bit, and they need to be somewhat responsible for everything happening. Because I can't tell you the number of people I've kicked out of my bar, especially around closing time, like 2 a.m. or something. They're not getting into another bar. They can't even stand up. Cabs pass them by, right?
Yeah.
They get home, they're borderline alcohol poisoned. You bring them a bottle and they die, it's on you.
It's true. That's a good point. I mean, I personally haven't that's not true. There's one guy in the area that every Saturday orders a fifth, and he's pretty hammered by then. Yeah, it's a good point. But I don't know. I agree. I'm not saying like it's not as impactful. I'm still saying they should do the certification. I don't know why they wouldn't do it, because then it falls right back on us and not DoorDash. If DoorDash makes you
100%,
they'd be like, hey, we gave him the certification. He passed it. That's on him. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
Well, DoorDash didn't give you a certification.
But if they did,
right. And actually, well, they do. Like in mine, it says I'm certified. That's another thing, because I keep turning it off because every update it turns it back on. But when I turn it off, it says accepted, certified in green. I'm not certified. I've done it for decades, and I haven't been certified in 5 years.
Right.
So you know what? Like, I'm not certified. So if somehow I pass some 5-screen, do you know what a drunk person is? Yes. Okay, you're certified.
So you passed their screening process,
which isn't a screening process. Well, it's like, can you read English? And if you can, press yes. Okay, you're good to serve liquor.
Well, is each state different though? I mean,
I don't know. Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, in Virginia, you have to upload a document like you do.
That's right.
Here here it's like, here's where the confusion lies. Somebody is English as a second language, or even knows English decently well. I'm not saying illegals. I'm saying anybody who just has that as a second language.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary, dude, because I can't tell you the amount of people that tell me if it wouldn't be in the app if it wasn't legal.
Oh, what?
I mean, I can understand that too.
Yeah, I mean, are these workers telling you this, or like
I'm talking about, like, yeah, DoorDash drivers. I'm like, if they tell me they do liquor delivery, and they're like, I'm like, did you get your certification? No. Well, I mean, I'm good on the app. Dude, just because it's in the app doesn't make it legal.
Right, and they're gonna hang your ass out to dry. Maybe maybe I don't know.
But that's my point, man. Every state should be very, very up. I mean, if you're going to do this game, you should be demanding that certification. They should never get an alcohol order until they upload it. Period.
I agree, but they're not going to do that. You know why? Because people still are delivering it, and they get the food out and the booze out, and they don't really care.
Dude, I turned mine off. Like I said, I don't want to see anymore in my preferences. And it was slow. That's why I was talking to everybody in a live the other day. And it flashed up. I'd never seen it do this ever. And it said, "Are you sure you don't want liquor delivery on?" It's kind of booming right now. It was during one of the games on Sunday.
This Uber or DoorDash?
DoorDash.
Okay.
And I was like, man, you know what? Like, you're going to trick people into believing, oh, I better do that, man. And then they're doing a $5 delivery and going, woo, I made 5, not 2. And then some big brother came home over break and gave his little brother the ID. They all got wasted, him and his buddies, and somebody fell in the pool and drowned, and your ass is done. You're being sued for and like you said, the main part is these companies will walk the hell away from you.
Yeah,
they're gone, dude.
You know, one thing I did have noticed at Walmart, if you're going to go do a shop or like booze in the curbside, they make you scan your face like before you start and when you drop it off. Like there's a verification. Now I don't know why they're extra with that. But yeah, that is recently new for me in the last like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So and they do that with pharmacy too. So I don't know if they're just, I don't know what the reason, if it has to do with the alcohol or what, but it's a lot of face scanning. And it's fucking annoying, Steve, because on the Walmart app, I have to go inside the store. Like the GPS will not let you say you're there till you're in the store. Then I look like a crazy person scanning my face, turning left, turning right, and people stare at me. And I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to shop here. You know, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. Dude, I the scanning, the checking process on some of these apps blows my mind. Like I was doing these Uber Eats promos, and like I would be like 5 into it, and every 10 I was cranking out 120 bonus for these weeks. And so like 5 into it though, it would be like, wait a minute, do a face recognition. And I'm like, dude, I've already done 5. I could have already poisoned 5 people.
True. I actually
Like, what
don't
are you doing, man?
I don't mind it, except that I have to do it in the store because I think it's going to kick people off the platform quicker. Someone's going to get caught quicker because they're being shady. But having to do it in the store is fucking ridiculous. Like, let me do it in the car. I'm going in to do it. Why make me do it in the store? I don't know. Just kind of annoying. So
I think it goes back to the own problem that they created, like the spark couples or people who would like be the runners in the stores doing all the shopping, and the shopping off to a driver and the phone and take the next phone. And
yeah,
but those days are gone, and it's just, that shouldn't even be a thing.
No, for sure.
But that's an hour for us, guys. That's the podcast. Now, I want to thank Jason, man. You guys check out the Gig Economy podcast. Him and Larry are live on Wednesday at
7
p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. And ours is kind of like this, like Steve and I did. We're just it's just more, we're going down the news, just having our opinion on it, taking opinions from the folks in the chat and so on and so forth. But I appreciate you having me on, Steve. And I think I'm coming on at the end of is it February? No, end of January. 29, 22, I don't know.
20. What are we talking about?
Aren't you going to have me come on a Thursday?
Oh, yeah.
You asked me for this Thursday, and I said no, and then you shot me a date. So I don't know. Sometime in the month.
So that's a wrap, you guys, but it's not for the week. We'll be back on Thursday night. Sean will be with me. By the way, guys, if you didn't catch last week, we had a great episode. There was a little issue with the audio, but I got it fixed on the audio podcast side. But we've got it corrected now, but we had a great discussion. So until Thursday, and I got a thing with Geezer too on Wednesday. I think it's the hour before these guys are. But be safe, hustle hard, and earn smart, you guys. Be safe out there.